This video is going to change the way you play PrizePicks in 2025. Too many people are playing 2-man powers, 3-pick entries, just choosing popular player overs, and I promise you, if you want to just have fun and lose money, continue doing that. But if you actually want to make money in 2025 sports betting on PrizePicks, you need to listen to me. Let's first start off with understanding the slip types you should not be playing versus what you should be playing on PrizePicks. I will be one of the first people to tell you it is a lot easier to hit a 2-man parlay than it is a 6-man parlay. But in the long term, it is harder to be mathematically profitable playing 2-mans than it is a 6-pick flex on PrizePicks. I know, it's not rocket science. 2 picks is a lot easier to get than 6 picks, but you would be surprised how many people will argue that it's easier to be profitable in the long term playing 2-mans than it is 6-man flexes, and I want to break down the math and the payouts behind these slip types. That way you understand as well moving forward into 2025 which slip types you should be playing. As you can see on the screen, we have each of the PrizePicks slip types broken down for you. Now let me explain. If we look here at a 2-man power that pays out a 3x return if you go 2 of 2, you are getting each individual leg at minus 136 odds, whether you take the over or the under, as PrizePicks does not adjust your payouts. However, you need to hit at a 57.7% clip, a hit rate over the long term in order to be profitable playing 2-man powers on PrizePicks. Now, compare that to a 6-leg flex, which is a 25x payout for 6 of 6, 2x for 5 of 6, and then 0.4x for 4 of 6 at minus 119 odds per individual leg is what you are getting it at in that slip type. You only need to be right 54.2% of the time in order to be profitable long-term playing that slip type. Remember, this is for each individual leg, the hit rate needed. So out of all the plays and props that you put into your slips, you need to be hitting each individual play above these percentages in order to be profitable playing those slip types. Somebody a lot smarter than me did the math to break down these payouts in slip types, but I do know that's almost a 4% difference in hit rate needed to be profitable playing 2-man powers over 6-man flexes. Guys, sports betting is already hard enough. Why make it harder on yourself playing 2-man powers where you need to be right almost 4% more of the time than playing 6-man flexes? And don't even get me started on 3-man powers, which is by far the worst slip type on PrizePicks, and you should not be playing it. You would have to be right 59% of the time on your individual legs to be profitable playing that slip type. Now you know you should only be playing 5- and 6-man flexes on PrizePicks, but how do you find plays that have a long-term edge that are going to hit above 54.2% in order to be profitable? Let me show you. I use a website called Daily Grind Fantasy that helps me compare sportsbooks lines and odds directly back to PrizePicks and other different DFS apps to find the best mathematical value when comparing back to those books. Of course, I'm going to be going over some specific examples on what you should be looking for when building out your PrizePicks 6-leg slips. However, I wanted to mention how clutch it is that Daily Grind Fantasy actually does all of the math on the back end to find the true fair odds percentage or odds percent to hit that these sports books are giving all of these props based on where they have their odds and lines for these specific player props. And for my first example, you can see that Shaden Sharp has a 57.14% chance to hit based on where the sportsbooks have these lines and odds. And you can see just by line comparing, which is what you do using Daily Grind Fantasy, you see that every single sportsbook in DFS app all have this at 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And clearly, PrizePicks is too low when comparing back to the rest of the market, having this at 23.5. So there is clear value getting this one lower than the rest of the market and playing it on PrizePicks. So getting a full PRA off the rest of the market is good value, but you can also see bigger value than that. 3 full PRA off from the rest of the market, or even in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is at 255.5 pass yards on all of the different sports books, but you were able to snipe it on PrizePicks at 235.5, getting a whole 20 yards discrepancy from the rest of the market, which is also good value. Daily Grind Fantasy is updating every single second to get the most live, up-to-date odds and projections from these sportsbooks, bring it into one place for you to be able to easily line compare and find that value. And if you do want access to Daily Grind Fantasy, I will leave a link down in the description below, but if you use code DustinDGF15, you will get 25% off your very first month. Now, finding discrepancies within these projections is not the only way to find value. There's also oftentimes large discrepancies within the odds the sportsbooks are giving a play to hit, based on what you can get it at on PrizePicks, which is -119 in a 6-leg flex. Here's another sport and another example. Let's look at this bottom one here. Edward Cabrera. You can see that the optimizer is recommending to take the over of 6.5 strikeouts, but why is that? We see that when we compare to the rest of the sportsbook market, they all have this projection also at 6.5. But if you look across at the odds they are giving this play, they are giving this average odds of -141 to go over 6.5 strikeouts. Remember, you're getting it at -119 playing it on PrizePicks. 7 different sportsbooks are telling you this is heavily favored to go over 6.5 strikeouts, and you can get it at the best possible odds on PrizePicks. Not only are you getting the confidence that 7 other sportsbooks are agreeing that this has a better chance to hit based on the odds they are giving it, comparing to what PrizePicks has it at -119, you are getting extra money, extra profit just from playing this play at the best possible odds. Now let's just pretend this is a straight bet. You are placing a $100 wager at -119 odds, which is what you would be getting it at technically on PrizePicks. You would profit $84 if you were to win that play. However, if you played this at the market average at -141, a $100 wager would only win you $70, a difference in $14 that you would make more playing it on PrizePicks as opposed to playing it on the sportsbooks. Consistently finding plays like this where you are getting the best possible odds on PrizePicks when comparing back to the rest of the market is how you maintain an edge against PrizePicks. And if you keep doing this over the long term, you are going to be profitable. So yes, the goal is to find 5 or 6 plays that have above a 54.2% chance to hit and get them into your 5 and 6 man flexes. But how do you know that you're doing this right? How do you know that you have a long-term edge against PrizePicks? Well, you will start to see them either bump or remove the props you are getting in because they have good value, they have an edge against PrizePicks, and when that happens, PrizePicks needs to eliminate this edge as fast as possible. That way people don't start making money off of them and they continue to make money off their customers. And you might ask, why are we trusting what the sportsbooks are saying when we're trying to beat other sportsbooks? That's because these major sportsbooks have multi-million-dollar algorithms and models setting these lines and odds based on everything that you think you know or can look up, right, as accurately as possible. That's because they're in the business of making money off their customers as well. So for them to be inaccurate with these lines and odds sets them up for possibilities where an edge could be found on those sports books. We're able to just find it more often on these different DFS apps that don't have as much money into their algorithms and models to be able to keep up with the ever-changing market of sports betting. And if you think that doing that using the optimizers at Daily Grind Fantasy isn't easy enough, well, I introduce you to Daily Grind Fantasy's AI Slip Generator, which is an AI tool that uses line comparing technology to scan the sportsbook market and find the best possible value on apps like PrizePicks, Underdog, Better, Rebet, and Flip. And once it finds that value, it will then build you out full slips to simply tail off the tool. Now, there's not too much value at the time of this recording on these different DFS apps like PrizePicks and Underdog, but you can see this is what it would look like. You reveal the slip, and you just simply get this slip in on whatever app you're playing. Tailing PrizePicks slips off the AI Slip Generator is the easiest possible thing to do. You can actually do it with one click of a button. You click the Bet on PrizePicks button. It will then load up the full slip that's being recommended into your PrizePicks account. All you do is enter in the amount you would want to play it for and hit submit. And just like that, you secured the best possible value on PrizePicks with maybe 10 seconds of work. I've labeled this tool as the easiest and most profitable tool in sports betting, as it is up over 2,278 units since it launched on 8/18 of 2023. Whether you're plus EV betting and line comparing using the optimizers at Daily Grind Fantasy or the AI Slip Generator, my last tip is to manage your bankroll. Your bankroll is the amount of money you have in your sports betting accounts, in this case PrizePicks. You never want to be betting more than 1% of your bankroll per PrizePicks slip. For instance, if you only have $500 in your account, you should only be placing $5 per PrizePicks slip, $1,000, $10 per PrizePicks slip, and so on. Remember, you are playing 5 and 6 leg flexes on PrizePicks now, so there is going to be some variance. You are not going to win every single slip. That's just ridiculous to think, even if you're tailing AI or building out the slips yourself. So it's important that you keep yourself in the game for as long as possible. If you are playing $5 slips with $500 in your account, you are going to be losing 10 slips, 12 slips, 15 slips in a row until you hit the 1 6-leg PrizePicks slip that pays out 25x, and then you're profitable for that stretch. But if you played 7, 8, $50 slips, you are really cutting yourself thin and going to run out of money before you actually see the fruits of your labor playing those 5 and 6 man parlays. However, just like negative variance, there's positive variance in sports betting. You could place the next 10 slips, and if 2 of those hit, you are extremely profitable over that stretch. It's just simply math. If you are hitting 1 out of every 15 6-leg PrizePicks slips that are 25x payouts, you are going to be extremely profitable long term. Please do not give up on the strategy. If you start off 0 of 7, 0 of 8 on these 6-leg parlays, stick to the script. As long as you are consistently getting in the best value and getting an edge against PrizePicks with every bet you place, you will come out on top over the long term. That's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and learned something. If you did, make sure you leave a like on this video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the way out as we post sports betting content like this every single week.